Hey everyone, welcome back to IIT and Education channel. Today we shall look into digestion in ruminants. So this is the final leg of this chapter nutrition, okay? And we can happily wrap up this, okay? Now, tell me, what is the meaning of ruminants? Have you ever heard of this? No, right? Most of you, not most of you, almost everyone I think, right? No one could have heard about this ruminants. So don't get overwhelmed with this term ruminants, okay? There's nothing magical or so great about this term. It just means that these are the plant eating mammals. What are these? Plant eating mammals. What they do? Why is it so important that we mention plant eating mammals? Why is plants so important? Because plants will digesting the plants directly, raw plants directly, needs some sort of environment in the stomach, okay? And this environment is present in these animals termed as ruminants, okay? So what happens in ruminants? It will have four chambered stomach. What is it? Four chambered stomach, which can handle these plants, okay, the plants that it is eating. And these ruminants can also be said that what they do, they chew the cud, okay. I will say everything about this. I will give you detailed information about all this, but for now these are the important terms. Like ruminants will have four chambered stomach, they chew the cud, and you should even know about the examples. What are the examples? You can say cow, buffalo, then sheep, goat, all these come under this category, okay. And ruminants are hooved, and also they have, usually I'm saying that not all ruminants will have the same characteristics, okay. So usually they are two-toed animals, okay. So all these are considered to be some of the features of the ruminants. Whenever asked, like they may ask you that what are the features of ruminants, typical features of ruminants, and they will give you some list and will ask you to find what are or what not, all these things, okay. So for that to be handled, I have mentioned clearly about the features of the ruminants. Now tell me, I have mentioned that it has a four chambered stomach, right? Now it is important that these are named, and we should know like how the food enters, where will it go, if in this four chambers what happens, everything, right? So first of all we shall look into the compartments. What are these compartments? What are the names of these compartments or chambers of the stomach? Okay, the first chamber is rumen, then the next one is reticulum. What is it? Reticulum. And next one, omasum. Lastly, it's abomasum. These are the four chambers of the stomach, okay. And as in the part of the digestion process will also have the small intestine, okay. So the food have to pass through all these, okay. And it's like not only one way. Like in human beings, once the food is through the mouth, it won't come back, but here it comes back too. So it's a two-way thing, okay. So we'll see about all this, don't worry. And there are four chambers, and the process is a bit different. You just detach yourselves from the process of the digestion of the human being that you have already seen. Now we shall look into something a bit like a bit different process, okay. Okay, let us look into it. Now see, this is about the ruminant digestion. As I have mentioned, what is this? This is esophagus. Even human being has esophagus, right? And this is rumen, okay. And these are this one, what do you call, the chambers of the stomach. This entirely is the stomach, and this is the intestine. So you can find, see, rumen here, reticulum is mentioned here, and omasum, and this one abomasum, and this is the esophagus. You already know this is the small intestine, okay. So in this is the basic structure of the ruminant digestion, and we shall look into what happens actually, okay, how the food gets digested in a ruminant, okay. So the first thing that is so important for you to understand is whenever we are eating food, what we do, we take time, we chew the food, and then we will send the food into our like we swallow the food so that it will enter into esophagus, right? But here with the cows and other ruminants, that doesn't happen. They don't have, like, they won't stand there and chew the food, chew whatever plants it takes. No, what happens, they just swallow the food. They just pluck the leaf, take the leaves, plants, and they will just let it enter the stomach. Okay, and after some time again the food is taken back, and then they will happily sit at some place and chew the entire food. Okay, now let us see what happens. All right, now during grazing, as I have mentioned, what these animals do, these animals quickly swallow as much of food it gets. Okay, so this partially chewed food, what happens, it will enter from mouth to, it first goes to rumen. Okay, so the partially chewed food will first go from mouth to rumen. Okay, so this is the first chamber of your stomach. Okay, here what happens, in rumen you can find some microorganisms. Okay, microorganisms, and also like why do you think these microorganisms are there? Why do you need these microorganisms as such? It is because all the plants will have cellulose. What is this? Cellulose. Cellulose is a complex carbohydrate, and for our body to be able to digest this, we need an enzyme called as cellulase. Not we, ruminants need, because we are not eating the raw plants, right? It is very difficult to digest, and our body is not equipped to take raw leaves. Okay, grass and such sort of things will have cellulose, which is a complex carbohydrate, and our body can't handle it. Okay, mostly can't handle it. It's like a bit of raw things, raw leaves is okay, but more than a bit more than this limit, our body can't digest. Okay, so that is the reason we won't eat leafy vegetables like spinach and all that raw, right? Mostly we won't it. It's because our body can't digest it properly. Okay, now tell me, here what happens, there will be some microorganisms, and these microorganisms will release an enzyme called as cellulase. And this cellulase, what it does, it helps in breaking down this cellulose. Okay, what is the cellulose? It's a complex carbohydrate, and it should be broken down, only then the process of digestion can progress. Okay, now then what happens, this partially digested food will then be called as what? Cud. What is it? Cud. So you have to remember that you may get in your competitive exams, what is cud? Then you have to say it's called, it is the partially digested food. Okay, then this cud, what happens to it? Then it will be sent to second chamber. What is the second chamber? It is reticulum, right? And from this reticulum it will be sent back to the mouth. What happens here? By this time the cow will happily sit at some place relaxed, and then it will start chewing the food again. Okay, so the food that has entered will first go into the rumen, and there it will be acted upon by the microorganisms in a way that the cellulase enzyme is released, so that it can help breaking down of the cellulose that is present in the plant, and this partially digested food is called as cud. And this cud enters what? It enters the second chamber reticulum, and then it is sent back to the mouth for proper chewing. Okay, and this process is known as what? Rumination. Okay, now the rechewed food is swallowed again, right? So once it sits somewhere and it chews it again, and it will be swallowed again, and again it will pass through the same path, and then later it enters the third chamber. What is the third chamber? Third chamber is omasum. What is it? Omasum. In omasum what happens, the pieces of the food that had been chewed is further broken into smaller pieces, right? further broken into smaller pieces, and then this smaller pieces then enters the fourth chamber. What is the fourth chamber? It is abomasum, right? In this abomasum, what happens? This is considered to be the true stomach. There may be a question saying that which chamber of the ruminant's stomach is called as true stomach. Then you have to say it is the fourth chamber, the abomasum. Okay. Here what happens? Here some enzymes act upon the food and the digestion occurs. Okay. So after the digestion occurs, the food is then sent to, yes, intestine, right? In intestine what happens? Complete digestion takes place and absorption of the nutrients too. Okay, so you can find a complete digestion and absorption of the nutrients to be done at intestine. Okay, so this is about the process. I'll repeat it again so that it will be easier for you. Okay, so first what happens? It will take as much food it finds. Okay, the cow will take it, and this partially digested food will be first sent to rumen. Where is it? Rumen. In rumen what happens? Some microorganisms will release an enzyme called as cellulase, so that this cellulose, a complex carbohydrate that is present in the plants, that will be broken down such that the food can be used or digested properly. Okay, and this partially digested food is called what? Cud. Okay, this cud then enters the second chamber, reticulum, and from reticulum it is sent to where? Mouth. Okay, and here again the food is properly chewed, and this properly chewed food again enters same, it will get through the same process, and later it will get to omasum. Okay, and here omasum what happens? It will be broken down into smaller pieces. Okay, and this smaller pieces then enters the fourth chamber. In the fourth chamber, what is the name of the fourth chamber? It is obomasum. Obomasum is called as true stomach, and here the digestion takes place through the acting up of the enzymes on the food. Okay, and after this the food enters intestine. In intestine there will be a complete digestion. You can find the food to be completely digested, and absorption also takes place at this level. Okay, understood? This is the actual process of how the digestion takes place in a ruminant. And as I have mentioned, this presence of microorganisms and all this is so important, because until and unless cellulase is released, the cellulose won't get digested. Okay, so this is about the digestion in ruminants. Okay, and anything else? Do I have to cover anything else? Maybe we can end the topic here. Okay, the same with the other animals that I have mentioned, like cows, buffaloes, goats, horses, everything. This process will be same. Okay, and what else? I think on one topic I said I would repeat it. Just I'm unable to recall what is the topic. All right, anyways, we will wrap up this chapter. Okay, if you have any doubts, let me know. And about something that I have assured you that I would cover at the end, sorry, I'm unable to recall that. So if at all you need about that too, let me know. I will add another video on that. Okay, done with the chapter nutrition. I hope all the concepts are thoroughly covered. Okay, thank you. Bye.